hey, choose your religious conviction or choose your livelihood, but you can't choose both. That, in effect, is what the New Mexico Supreme Court has told the owners of Lane Photography. Jonathan and Elaine are now in debt over $7,000 with a fine that the courts have given them because they held to their religious convictions. They turned down a job to photograph a same-sex commitment ceremony. Some of us will face problems in our future endeavors, like the owners of Lane Photography. I personally haven't come across a problem like this, but I'm sure some of us have someone that has. The conflict will continue to rise, but we can rise to the challenge. Those who support the traditional understanding of marriage will be the subject to even greater civil liability under the non-discrimination laws that prohibit private discrimination based on sexual orientation and marital status and gender. Non-discrimination laws are popping up all over the country. They are affecting people like us that are standing up for their beliefs. And San Antonio recently passed a non-discrimination city ordinance that would prevent anyone who believes in natural marriage from running for city council. A bakery in Oregon forced to close its doors because they decided to decline providing a wedding cake for a lesbian couple. A Vermont country inn ordered to pay $30,000 penalty for declining to host a gay wedding reception. The non-discrimination laws seem like a good idea until you carefully read the added wording to the bills being passed. Here's an example from an actual law. Use of public places, it shall be unlawful to deny to any person because of sexual orientation, or gender, identity expression, the full enjoyment of any of the accommodation, advantage, facilities, or privileges of any place of public resort, accommodation, assemblage, or amusement. The full definition of place of public resort, accommodation, assemblage, or amusement is often so large as to almost fill a page. It usually is a list of virtually every store, service, business, public place, school, lodging, transportation, recreational facility, etc., that a community might have to offer. It creates a non-discrimination net that has the ability to capture just about everyone. Equating gay rights with civil rights is an invalid argument these non-discrimination laws bring up. In making this comparison, gay advocates are able to paint anyone who opposes the laws as being a bigot and a hater. This has a powerful silencing effect upon people because no one wants to be thought of as a bigot. General Colin Powell said, "Skin color is a benign, nonverbal characteristic. Sexual orientation is perhaps the most profound of human behavioral characteristics. Comparison of the two is a convenient but invalid argument." We can make a difference by standing up for our religious beliefs. In his speech Elder Oaks gave at BYU, Idaho, he suggests 3 things we can do. Use religious references in private prayers and personal greetings. In our personal and family prayers, we should ask God to help us and our neighbors and leaders recognize God our Creator and the right and wrong established by His commandments. We should also assert ourselves against the current trend to refrain from religious references, even in private communications. For an example, we can use wedding announcements and use the title Mrs. and Mr. We can also use religious sayings and symbols in Christmas greeting cards. Publicly recognizing the blessings of God, we should also contend for the inclusion in textbooks and teaching in school settings of accurate accounts of great historical documents that recognize and invoke the blessing of God in the founding and preservation of this nation. Contend for the free exercise of religion. Pray in public. We need to support the coalitions of religious leaders and God-fearing people who are coming together to defend our nation's traditional culture of belief in God and the acknowledgement of blessings. Become informed voters and vote smart. There is a great website called votesmart.org. You can look up what is going on in your state. You can also look up your current issues, and you can also look up information on elected officials. Engage. Call and email your representatives. Tell them your thoughts. One person can make a difference. Your thoughts matter to your representatives. They were elected to represent the voice of the people. What will the world look like if you don't stand up for your beliefs? Fast forward in time to your child's wedding day. Instead of being sealed in the temple for time and all eternity, your child has to have a civil wedding ceremony. The church has shut down temple use for the time being. The non-discrimination laws have taken over to the point where same-sex couples have tried to get married in our temples. We cannot be bystanders in shaping our public environment. We have the duty and the right to get informed about what is happening in our communities and in the world. There is hope for our future. All it takes is religious citizens like you to get involved and to stand up for your religious beliefs. You can start making a difference today by picking up a newspaper and becoming informed. In the words of Bob Marley, get up, stand up for your rights, get up, stand up, don't give up the fight.